Most people think the ATO only looks at your tax return once a year, and that's not how it works anymore, because today the ATO is data matching from brokers, banks, crypto exchanges, property records, and even foreign tax agencies automatically. Which means people don't get reviewed because of fraud, they get reviewed because of small mistakes. A missing capital gain, a cost-based error, a deduction that doesn't quite line up. And the scary part, most investors don't even realize they've triggered a red flag until they get the letter. So in this video, I want to explain the 5 red flags that commonly trigger ATO reviews, and more importantly, how to make sure you avoid them. None of these are complicated, they're patent. And once you see how the ATO matches this data, you'll realize how easy it is to get flagged without even knowing it. I'm Navar, founder of Navexa. We've processed tens of thousands of investor tax reports, and these are the exact issues that keep coming up. 10 years ago, this stuff was harder for the ATO to track. Now, your broker reports to the ATO directly. Crypto exchanges share data with them, and global tax agreements mean even offshore activity is now visible. And the tricky part is, this isn't one clean data set, it's bits of information coming from different places that all need to line up. So red flag number 1 is mismatched capital gains. This one is the most common one, and it's the easiest way to get flagged. If your broker shows that you've sold shares this financial year and your tax return doesn't match that, that's a problem. Simple as that. And this happens more than people think. You sell something mid-year, you forget about it. And you tell yourself, I'll deal with that later. And then tax time rolls around and it's missing. Or worse, you do report it, but the numbers don't match. Wrong date, wrong value, wrong calculation. Now from your side, it might feel small, but from the ATO's side, it's a mismatch in reported data. And that's exactly what their systems are built to flag, because they already have the broker data. They know when you sold, what you sold, what it was worth. So your return doesn't need to be perfect, but it needs to line up. And this is where things start to get really messy, because most people aren't working from one clean record. They've got trades in one place, notes somewhere else, maybe a spreadsheet, maybe nothing. And over time, these small gaps start to add up. Red flag number 2 is failing to report investment income. Now, a lot of people think tax issues only happen when you sell something, but that's not true. You can get flagged without selling anything because income is still being reported. Dividends, ETF distributions, crypto staking rewards, all of that leaves a trail. And in many cases, the ATO already has a version of that data. So if your return says one thing and their data says another, that's another mismatch. A really common example is ETFs. You see cash hit your account and assume that's what you report to the ATO. But then your annual tax statement comes through at the end of the year and the numbers are completely different. And if you ignore that, you're reporting the wrong figure. Same with crypto. You might not have sold anything, but if you've earned staking rewards, that is still treated as taxable income. And this is where people slip up, because it doesn't feel like income. You didn't get cash landing in your account, but from a reporting point of view, it is. And again, this is where things start to break down, because now you're thinking trades, income, distributions across different platforms, in different formats, at different times. Red flag number 3 is incorrect cost base. Now this is where things get a little bit more technical and where a lot of people get it wrong without realizing. The cost base is what you use to calculate your capital gain or loss. And if that number is wrong, then your tax is wrong. And it cuts both ways as well. So you might overpay or underpay, but either way, it's not accurate. Now this gets pretty complicated pretty quickly because your cost base isn't always just what I paid. It changes over time. So for example, you might buy the same stock or ETF multiple times at different prices. Now you've got multiple parcels. Then you might have reinvested dividends, ETF cost base adjustments, corporate actions like splits or consolidations, crypto trades. All of these can affect your cost base. And if you're not tracking that properly, your final number can be way off. And a really common one is ETFs. You'll get things like cost-based increases or cost-based decreases every single year. And if you ignore those, your capital gain calculation will be completely wrong. And the tricky part is, none of this shows up clearly in one place. You have to piece it together across different statements and across time. And this is where doing it manually starts to break down, because it's not just one calculation. It's a chain of calculations that all depend on the previous one being correct. And this is one of the biggest issues we see. Not because people are doing anything wrong on purpose or trying to be dodgy, but because the process itself is so easy to mess up. Red flag number 4 is currency mistakes. Now this one flies under the radar, but it matters more than people think. So if you're investing in US stocks or using international platforms, you are dealing with foreign currency whether you like it or not. And the ATO wants everything reported in AUD, not USD, not estimates, AUD. So every time you buy, every time you sell, you need to account for the exchange rate at that point in time, not later, not averaged out, at the time of the transaction. So here's a simple example. You buy a US stock, the price stays flat, but the AUD to USD exchange rate drops. So when you sell, you've actually made a gain in AUD terms, even though the stock didn't move. So if you ignore that, your numbers won't match. And this is where doing it manually gets messy very quickly, because now you're not just tracking prices of the asset, you're tracking exchange rates for every single transaction across time, across platforms, and again, it all has to line up. Red flag number 5 is wash selling. This is where things get a bit more serious, because this one isn't just about mistakes, it's about actual intent. So wash selling is when you sell an investment to realize a loss and then buy it back shortly after to try and claim the tax benefit, basically, without really changing your position. Now, to be clear, selling at a loss is completely legal. That's a normal part of investing. But if the main purpose is to create a tax benefit and afterwards you're effectively in the exact same position, that's where it becomes a problem. And that is something the ATO is actively looking for, because they can see the pattern. They can see when you sold, when you bought back in, what the asset was. So if that sequence shows up, it starts raising questions. And in some cases, they can deny the loss completely, which is a much worse outcome than just getting the number wrong, because now you're not just fixing a mistake, you're losing the tax benefit entirely. And this is really the line. Up to this point, most of these issues are about accuracy. This one starts to look like behavior. If you want a full breakdown of how wash selling works, I've done a separate video on wash selling, so go and check that out. None of these are complicated on their own, but together they become very easy to get wrong, because your data isn't in one place. It's spread across brokers, exchanges, statements, and all of it needs to line up perfectly. And that's why accuracy is the whole game here. And realistically, that's very hard to maintain manually over time, because you're not just tracking one thing, you're tracking trades, income, adjustments, currency across multiple platforms over multiple years, which is exactly why we built Navexa. Pulls all of your investment data together, tracks your cost base properly, handles things like distributions and currency, and makes sure your numbers actually line up. So instead of guessing or trying to fix everything at tax time, you've got clean records the whole way through, because that's the difference. It's not about trying to outsmart the ATO. It's about trying to make sure your data is right from the start. And if you want to understand the one mistake that can actually get your losses denied completely, watch our last video on wash selling, because that's the one you really don't want to get wrong.